Greetings, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. I was sitting down and thinking about what to do for a video, and then I remembered that it has been a hot minute since we checked in on the Straits. Since making the last one of these a few months ago, people have asked me to carry on the series, so I am going to keep going. I'm just going to do them slightly less frequently than I used to. It'll be every couple months rather than every month, and it's been a couple months, so here we are. But before we do get into it, I would like to say a massive thank you to today's patron of the day, Jamie. I appreciate you and your support so much. Thank you so much. I hope that you enjoy this video. And if anyone else would like to become a patron, you go to patreon.com/savvycat or click the top link in the description. It means a lot, so thank you. Yeah. So with that being said, let us go have a check on how the Straits are. But before I do, leave your answers in the comments below. Do you think they'll finally be okay this month? Do you think that we'll have an excuse to put the series to an end? My bet's on no. But you know, maybe we'll be surprised. We're starting off on a strong note with 14 indicators to assess the strength of your relationship. If she scares you, she is the one. No. I actually don't think that is the case. I personally don't think you should be afraid of your partner. Ever. If you're scared of your girlfriend, break up. Don't be afraid of your partner. You should never be in a relationship in which you feel afraid. Okay? Just keep that in mind. If you're scared of her, leave. Don't listen to this. I'm terrified to know what the other 13 are, actually. I don't want to know, to be honest, because, oh my god, what a big yikes. We need to stop normalizing women being abusers, because, like, that is way too normalized. It's way too normalized, is, like, women being especially, like, emotionally abusive. Like, I don't know why we decided that was an okay thing, but, like, it's not. If you are in a relationship and your partner scares you, don't be in that relationship anymore, please. Same idea, different designs, and it's a mouse trap, a bear trap, and a wedding ring. I always absolutely love these types of posts because they act as though it's not a decision that they made. Like, they're like, I got trapped in marriage. I got tricked into it. No, you didn't. You asked and then it happened. Like, why? Why did you decide to get married if you view marriage as a trap? That's my question. It's the same as, like, the weirdest ones are always the wedding toppers, right? The, like, toppers on the cake. And, like, the way people treat bachelor parties, especially being, like, last night of freedom and such. It's like, if you viewed marriage like that, why are you doing it? Why is the cake topper on a wedding cake, like, your wife dragging you by the ankle to trap you? Like, you aren't even married yet and you're complaining about being trapped. You asked, bro. If you don't want to get married and you feel like you're being locked into a contract you can't leave, don't do it. Maybe. Like, I get there are societal pressures and such, but I truly just do not understand marrying someone that you don't enjoy spending time with. And even if it's a joke, like, how do you joke about being trapped in a relationship? If you made a joke like that with me, I would break up with you. What is wrong with you? That is so unhealthy and not okay. If you want to spend our entire life no, go away. Go away. It's not funny. It's not cute. Like, you should marry someone you love or don't get married at all. Hey guys, next time you're having an argument with your wife, start undressing. She will instantly have a headache and then go to sleep. Why do you have to make everything about sex all the time? Like, have you ever thought about the fact that maybe there's a reason she doesn't want to have sex at that time? Have you ever thought about that? And also, like, the fact that she has to come up with an excuse saying that she has a headache rather than just saying no because you won't accept her saying no unless there's a reason. Like, have you thought about the fact that maybe that's why she doesn't want to have sex? Because you haven't created an environment in which she feels safe and happy enough to, like, communicate with you? Because, like, she shouldn't have to say that she has a headache. She should just be able to be like, no, I'm not feeling it right now. And then you just like, okay, that's fine. But obviously in the past it hasn't gone like that, so now she feels like she has to come up with an excuse and have a reason when she doesn't need to have one of those. So I feel like you should be asking yourself that first and foremost. And also, like, maybe she's arguing for a reason. Maybe you should try listening. Maybe you should, like, try have some sort of conversation and resolution rather than being like, I don't want to talk to you anymore, I'm gonna do a thing, so you shut up. Some people shouldn't be in relationships. Some people shouldn't be married. New wife and new husband voodoo dolls. And there's a blue voodoo doll to be the husband so the wife can stab that says, remember our anniversary. Listen to me. Tell me you love me. Bring me flowers. Compliment me. Don't squeeze my love handles. Take me shopping. Take me dancing. Rub my feet. Take me on a vacation. Cook dinner for us. And then the wife one says, don't think about other men. Stop nagging. Shut up already. We're watching sports. Get me a beer. Feed me. Dress sexier. Go get a pizza. Take trash out yourself. Get your mother out. Already I'm seeing a massive difference in the aggression level. Like, the ones for the husband and the wife asking him to do, like, nice things. These are all things that she's, like, deprived of. Like, saying that husbands don't typically do these things is a bit of a yikes. Like, you should be giving your wife, like, small gifts every now and then. You should absolutely be complimenting her. You should absolutely remember your anniversary. You should cook dinner every now and then. Like, these are all things that are expected of you as a partner, not just as a husband, just as a partner in general. These are things that are expected of you and you shouldn't be asked to do. You should just do them. And then the one on the wife, immediately being like, don't think about other men. Oh my God, where did that come from? What? And then just like, shut up already and stop talking. Why so aggressive? Oh my God. Why do you not want your wife to talk? Did you not get married so you could talk to each other and have conversations? What is your relationship if it's not talking? Like, I truly, truly don't get it. What is a relationship if you don't want your wife to talk? What is it? What do you do? What do you want? What do you do? It's just someone to do shit for you? Like, yeah, I guess get me a beer, dress sexier because you just want to stare at her with her not talking. Kick your mother. What is wrong with you? Oh my God. The bar's on the fucking floor for men, and then they just don't want us to be people, I guess. Anyway, this idea is ridiculous, and it's so misogynistic and unnecessary, and oh my God. The fact that it's turned into a joke is, like, unreal. $1 million truth. Wife is cute when she is mute, and husband is honey when he gives money. Another one about not wanting your wife to talk. I truly do not understand this. Being like, women talk too much. I don't want my wife to talk. I hope she shuts up. Why? Why? What is she saying that's so annoying? Is it her asking you to help? Is it her asking you to, like, help out around the house? Is it her just telling you about her day and wanting someone to talk to? Like, conversation is a core part of relationships of any sort. If you aren't talking, what are you doing? Maybe you should talk more. Or maybe you just want to hear the sound of your own voice and you want your wife to be like a listening board to just like validate you and you're saying and you have no interest in what she wants, which is so problematic as well. Let your wife talk and then you talk too. And then, holy shit, have you considered having a conversation? Like, what is your relationship if it's not fucking talking? It gives me a fucking headache just reading this shit. And like, husband is honey when he gives me money. I don't know what your relationship is, but if you have a relationship where your wife is like a stay-at-home mom, then like, yeah, she should be given money because she doesn't have any of her own. She doesn't have any financial independence or freedom. And so like, yeah, that makes sense. And like, if she's not, you know, and if this is coming from both perspectives, then it's problematic from both people. Being like, I only care about my husband when he gives me money versus I only care about my wife when she doesn't talk. Don't be in a relationship with each other. You should care about way more than that. You should want to listen to your wife and you should also, you know, enjoy time with your husband without just using him for money, you know? Like, All names are beautiful and hot. However, a few names do make one turn around. So if you're looking for such names for your baby girl, here is our list of hot girl names. You may have heard these names below many times. That's so weird. That's so weird. Why would you name your baby a name that would get the attention of a man when they're older? Like, what? What? Why do you want to give your baby an attractive name? Why do you want your baby to have a hot name? Like, that's so odd. I agree you shouldn't name a baby a name that is only good for a baby. You know what I mean? Like, don't name your baby, like, Bubbles. Or, well, actually, that's kind of cool. Like, don't name your baby a name that you think wouldn't fit an adult, right? Like, don't do that. But at the same time, you shouldn't give your baby a name that you think is, like, hot. Hot should never be used in relation to a baby, actually, I think is the main point. Like, just have, like, nice names. Beautiful names to name your child. Like, describe the name, not the way people will perceive the person with the name. Because that's really weird. Don't ever use hot in relation to a baby. Ever. Ever. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Okay? My son gonna thank me when he gets older for making him eat Jell-O cups with no spoon. He gonna be a cat emoji, knife and fork emoji, devil face emoji. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why? Why would you say that? Because this is obviously a very young child too, right? Like, why are you thinking about that? Like, no matter how old your child is, you shouldn't ever be thinking about that, ever. Especially like a young child whom you're giving Jell-O cups to. I have no words for that, actually. Please stop sexualizing your children. Why did your mind go there? Why did you think about that? What the fuck? Some people shouldn't have kids. Just don't ever talk about children like this. Ever. Here is a TikTok. 4 years ago, I took in a boy. His biological mom didn't want to raise him anymore. He gets along well with my other kids and they love him, but the behavior issues are beyond what I can handle. He never listens to me. So I call his bio mom. She said she's not taking him back. He's my responsibility now. And I should have thought about this before agreeing to marry him. Here we go with the husbands are children. Husbands are just an extra child that I have to take care of. That's not what a husband should be. You shouldn't. Oh my god. These like actually drive me up the fucking walls. Like sometimes these make me suffer more than others. Today is a day where they are just making me so frustrated. Like, please, oh my god, don't view your partner as a child. Don't get married to someone whom it feels like a chore to be in a relationship with. Don't get married to someone you know you're constantly going to complain about and who isn't going to help you. This reminds me of the fact that, like, single women are on average, like, happier, healthier, and live longer lives, whereas single men often are less healthy, more sad, and die earlier. Like, married men live more happy and good lives, and married women live worse lives. And it's shit like this that reminds me of that. Like, you don't have to settle for that. You don't have to do that. Like, you don't have to just marry someone whom you look after. Have higher standards. Do better for yourself. It's okay to just not get married and not be in a relationship if that is not for you. You don't have to do that. You don't have to put up with someone whom you feel like is looking after an extra child. And like, just stop infantilizing men, firstly. Stop giving them an excuse to be infantilized. Stop normalizing this infantilization of men. They just need to fucking deal with it. Get over it and be a fucking grown-ass person and look after themselves. Just don't get married and don't have kids and just like live your own fucking life, okay? Just fucking, oh my god. My wife was screaming at the TV, "Don't go in the church, you stupid bitch." I said, "What the fuck are you watching?" She said, "Our wedding video." That takes me to comedy night. I hate my wife. And then just everyone losing their minds. Yeah, it do be like that. It works the other way around too, of I hate my husband. For two different ways, but like it's the same. It's the same thing. I just like, why do they do this? Why do they do it? And even if they do actually love their partners or whatever, why do they constantly joke about wanting to fucking kill each other and how much they hate each other? Like, it's not very funny. I don't know why it's so normal. I don't know why it's so validated. I don't get it at all. Marry people that you like, please. Because I'm sick of hearing you all complain all the time. Just like, don't marry people that you don't want to be around. And if you don't like marriage and you think it's a trap, don't fucking get married. Don't ask to get married. Don't talk about it. Just don't do it. Father, all day I hear a voice telling me what I have to do. Do you think I am possessed by the devil? No, son, you are married. I'm gonna like actually slam my head through the wall. I'm actually about to lose my goddamn fucking mind. I can't do this today. I just can't. Oh my god, it's so infuriating. It's so why are there so many of them, and why do they constantly get posted and they constantly get liked? And there's so much validation in that it's normal to hate your partner, and you just shouldn't be happy. That's what a relationship is that you hate each other. That's not a normal thing to be teaching people. It's not a normal thing to be teaching people. We shouldn't be teaching people to be controlling. We shouldn't be teaching people to accept being controlled. We shouldn't be teaching people that they should be unhappy. We shouldn't be teaching that marriage is a trap and it sucks and you're meant to be miserable. Because that's what we're teaching. And like, we shouldn't be doing that. Gonna lose my mind. Despite the old saying, don't take your troubles to bed, many women still sleep with their husbands. Get a divorce. And actually, some marriage advice here. I'm not married, but this is advice I've heard from married people who are happy in their relationships. Have separate bedrooms. Don't sleep together. Have your own personal space. A lot of healthy marriages, they have their own bedrooms. They don't sleep together every night. Sometimes they will share a bed, yes, but they each have their own personal stuff, their own personal space. And they'll say goodnight before they go to bed, and then they'll be together in the morning, but they have their own space and their own time, because we need our own space. There's this whole like idea that like in relationships, you shouldn't have space. You shouldn't have boundaries. You should be 100% with each other all of the time. You should share everything and do everything together, and you should never have any space or anything ever. That's not going to work, because we as people need to have our own individuality and our own lives outside of our relationships, as well as having strong relationships as well. Like, you are allowed to be your own person. You should be your own person. And like, having your own space is so great. And obviously some people are perfectly fine and happy and healthy with sharing their bedroom or sharing their space all the time. But like, it should be normal to have your own space. It should be normal to be able to ask for space, to be able to go out of town for a period of time, to be able to have your own bed and sleep by yourself without offending your partner. Like, it is okay to have your own space, you know? Like, I know that this post is just like, it's not about that, but just in general, like, it's okay to have your own space within a relationship, and it's okay to have that as like a boundary, to be like, I don't like sharing a bed, you know? Like, I need my own space. I don't like sleeping with someone. I prefer to sleep alone. Like, that's a valid thing to have, and that's okay, you know? We all have our own limits of when it comes to like physical contact and being around other people. Like, having your own space is important, and I think that needs to be way more normalized. But oh my, aren't you pretty? Waitress: why, thank you, sir. Wife: tell her about your erectile dysfunction. Husband: allow me to introduce my erectile dysfunction. Her name is Margaret. Everything about this is so terrible. And that poor waitress. Firstly, don't like comment on your waitress's appearance. Just like, don't do it. Let them do their jobs. Leave them to it. Don't do that. We don't appreciate it, all right? When I worked in retail and I had older men try to compliment me in any way, it just makes me uncomfortable. It makes so many women uncomfortable. Just like, shut up. Keep it to yourself, okay? Don't. Don't do it. But then on top of that though, I don't think that jealousy is an appropriate response to that. Being like, how dare you compliment another woman? Tell her about your erectile dysfunction. Like, that's not cool either. Like, you shouldn't be jealous for your husband thinking someone is pretty. Like, we all think people are pretty. That doesn't really matter. And also, like, don't be airing his business and don't be talking about, like, his sex life, your sex life, in front of this poor fucking waitress who didn't ask to be involved in this conversation. Like, that's, like, harassment, okay? Don't do that. Don't bring up sex with this random fucking person. Like, why are you assuming that he wants to sleep with her in the first place? That's a red flag. If you think that everyone your husband finds attractive he wants to sleep with, that says a lot on both of your parts. And also, like, bringing that up unconsenting is, like, not okay at all. And then you being like, this is my erectile dysfunction, wife's name. Like, fucking, oh my god. How can you complain about your wife never having sex with you and then also say that she's the reason you don't have sex? Like, I don't get it. I thought you were complaining that your wife doesn't have sex and now you're like, my wife doesn't turn me on anymore. Like, which one is it? Do you want to have sex with your wife or don't you? I know this isn't made by the same person, but they're all made by the same person. You know, they're one big hive mind of, like, these fucking dumbass straight men. Like, you can't have both. You can't complain that your wife doesn't want to have sex with you and then say that your wife is unattractive and unsexy. Because, like, obviously she doesn't want to sleep with you now. Because you're saying that she's unattractive and you aren't attractive to her. Why would she want to have sex with you if you're calling her unattractive, you know? She probably doesn't. And that's valid, you know? I stand by her. But my god, everything about this interaction is horrible. And I know it's fictional. And I know the man wrote it, so doesn't see anything wrong with bringing up sex in a conversation with a stranger. But, like, don't do that. Never do that. British man killed by shark whilst honeymooning in Australia. Reports say he didn't suffer for too long. He'd been married only 5 days. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha. Ha. Marriage is suffering. Okay, that is enough of these bad marriage jokes for one day, I think. I don't think I can take any more. I think that I'm at my limit. I don't want to do this anymore. So I'm not going to. I'm going to end this video here. And maybe I'll see you again next month. Maybe it'll be the month after. Maybe it'll be the month after that. Who knows? I'll see you back here for another check-in on the straights later on. But I think for now, we can still very much agree that the straights are in fact not okay. Not even a little bit. So maybe next time. I don't think so. I don't think it's changing anytime soon. Anyway, a massive thank you to my Sprout and Above patrons whose names are up on the screen right now. I appreciate you so much, so thank you. And a huge, huge thank you to my Kiwi Cat patrons. Harry, Toulouse, Bobby, Sparrow, Josh, Mandy, Robbie, Ikazel, Jessica, Eldo, Trini, Ida, Raven, Danielle, Inoli Like Cannoli, Elias, Evie, Jewel, Apollo, Taylor is Trying, Boston, and Chris. I love and appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for joining. If you would like to become a patron, you go to patreon.com/savvycat. I'll click the top link in the description. For as little as £1 a month, you get my videos a day early, as well as podcasts a week early. And then for £3 and up, you get things such as outtakes, bonus mini podcasts, live streams, vlogs, and more. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it gave you as much of a headache as it gave me. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, The Queer Kiwi, and Twitter, That Queer Kiwi. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah.